Hello, all of our esteemed middle school teachers. I am going to work through something that I'd like to demonstrate for you quickly, and then I'm actually going to ask you to do this yourself before our professional development training on Monday. And so this is something I would like to show you and try to model for you the setup process of our OneNote notebook. And we'll go through Schoology here in just a second. But the reason why I'm starting on this screen is I want you to see kind of what we're aiming for and what is possible inside of our OneNote notebook. And so this is actually a student's work from a couple weeks ago. And the main thing we wanted to focus on was annotation. And so this is actually an inserted article that we used in some of my classes. And it's several pages long, but as you can see, it's very well highlighted. And she even marked up some of the points that she wanted to mark as very important for her notes. And so this is how we did it. We were able to insert a file, which was an article that I had provided for them, and put it onto a page. She set up her own little key of different colored cues of what she wanted to highlight, and she was able to go up here and choose them and change them, and then was able to type a little bit of a summary for her to be able to use, and able to make some notes as she was going along. This was all done on a PC, and so her writing was done with her mouse, which obviously could be a little tricky, but still very doable. And we've actually learned some new tricks to actually make the highlights perfectly straight, and even to help with our writing to make that a little bit better as well. Like I said, this was a few weeks ago, and so we've already improved on some of that as far as this goes. So that's the end result that I want you to see is capable and available to us. Now what I want to try to do is actually have you work on walking through with me in the setup process of setting up the OneNote. Now I'm asking you to set one class up before professional development on Monday. And so this is how we're going to do that. You go to any class you want to set through our courses. I'm going to use a sandbox, which is kind of a practice area for me to play with stuff. On the left side, you're going to come down to our OneNote class notebook. We'll have to sign in, and you might have the step process. You might have to verify your email and password, all those kind of things. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to create a class notebook. I'm going to make a fake one for this purpose for right now. But I'm going to create a class notebook. So you click right here. Are you sure? They have some other pieces. Yes. And then you can name it whatever you want to. I like to name it by the periods. I'm going to do period 8, pretend for teachers. As I set this up, once you name the class, then you move on. Now, this is what they're going to do. On this next page, they talk about what is going to be automatically set up for you inside of our notebook. You have a collaboration space that will be awesome for you to create groups to work on group projects. They have a content library where you can put out any reading articles, anything that you want them to have access to. Then you have a teacher only section where you just work on your own stuff. If you want to create things before you roll them out to the students, you can do this in this location. And then the students will have their own notebook, and you'll have a tab for each student to be able to see their work. And that's what's really important and beautiful about this notebook. So we're going to come down here and go to next. This is what I would encourage you to do. You can add other teachers to your notebooks. And if you have any of my Avid kids, I would desperately ask you to add me there for them. One of the things I actually do is grade them on their notebook organization and the way they're handling that. And so if I can have access to that, I can both support you, but I can also grade them on their other work outside of Avid class specifically. So you just put my email address in there if you want. You can also do other teachers. If you're wanting to help and support each other, you can add email addresses in there, and you can come back and do that later. You don't have to do that right now. So we'll go to next here. You can automatically add them in the LMS. That will be your students. And then these tabs are all kind of the base level things, and we can click next to just start with that. We can change all of that as we go. This is what it's going to look like for the teacher. This is what it will look like for the student. Click create. That is the whole process.